All right, now another thing that you'll need to be able to do is to use significant figures in calculations. So you'll need to figure out how many sig figs there are in the numbers that are given, do some sort of calculation with it, and then report the answer to the correct number of significant figures. And we have two rules here. So if we're adding or subtracting, okay, in the case of addition or subtraction, it goes by decimal places. Okay, and so if we want to go ahead and skip over, we'll go back and talk about this problem in detail in just a second. If we want to go ahead and skip over, this has two decimal places, this one has one decimal place, so this second number is going to limit the accuracy of the sum. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second though. Okay, for multiplication and division, it will go by whatever has the smallest number of significant figures. So a real easy one to look here is, like I said, we'll come back and hit this one also. This one has 5, this one has 2. The 2 is going to limit the significant figures of the answer to 2 significant figures. Okay, it goes by number with the least sig figs. All right, let's go ahead and get these into the calculator. So the first one there, 1.23 plus 0.7, I get from the calculator 1.93, but I actually can't, in good faith, report all those digits. The least accurate number here has only one decimal place, so this needs to get rounded to 1.9. All right, already throwing you a little curveball on this one. Scientific notation can make it harder to tell how many decimal places you have, and you want to do that for addition subtraction. So you just want to convert this into floating decimal notation. And you don't have to know how to do it, really. You can put it into your calculator, 1.6 times 10 to the minus 1, and hit enter. And for this calculator, I can change it from scientific to floating decimal, and that gives me 0.61 for that first number. And now my second number, 6.2 times 10 to the minus 2, and I have it still in floating, so 0.062. Okay, and I'm going to subtract this is 0 right here. So 0.61 and 0.062. So 0.61 minus 0.062. So the first number here has just 2 decimal places. And so while my calculator tells me the answer is 0.548, I know that since this number limits the number of sig figs, I need to round that to 0.55. All right, and then these last two, I find these to be much easier. This rule, and I'll show you how it works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures here. There is 2 sig figs here, and so the answer has to have 2. 1008.2 divided by 4.2. Okay, this is 240. So my calculator spits out a whole mess. 240.047619. Spits out this whole mess. The answer is limited to 2. There's a couple ways I can report this. 240 is the sloppier way, or to really let people know that it's 2 sig figs, I would go into scientific notation. And again, I don't have to know how to do it. I can get the calculator to do it. Okay, 2.4 times 10 to the 2. In some cases, the only really nice way to show the number of sig figs is with scientific notation. All right, and then finally, this number has 2 sig figs. The next number has 4 sig figs, so I'm going to get limited to 2 again. 1.2 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. So again, my calculator spits out 72264 times 10 to the 23rd. And then, but I only can claim 2 of these. So the 7.2 times 10 to the 23rd. Okay, this is the only accuracy that I can claim for that calculated number. So then if I were to ask you then to go and do this, and as a last step to tell me how many sig figs, 2, 2, 2, and 2.